So, Michelle, could you introduce yourself and tell us a bit about how you came to have a sight condition?
I'm 45. I was diagnosed with diabetes when I was 4 years old. I initially started out on a diet. Apparently I never liked sweet stuff, according to my mum. I only liked savoury, and the day I was diagnosed as being diabetic, I tried eating the whole sugar bowl, hence why I didn't stay on the diet very long. And the reason for the diabetic retinopathy is because I haven't had excellent control over the years, and behind my retinas have bled. So I've had a lot of laser treatment. As the doctor explained it, it's almost like welding, patching it up. And where I've had so much laser treatment done, it's caused scar tissue, and it caused my retinas to pop off.
What was it like for you going through that at the very early stages?
It was bizarre with the left one because they didn't pick up my detached retina soon enough, and it was just by off chance I saw a different doctor down at Eastbourne Hospital, and she went, "Oh, we think you've got a detached retina. We'll ship you off to Brighton." Because what had happened was I was doing my nurse's training, and I was helping a lady get dressed, and I had a severe pain in my left eye, and it was like, well, that's not good. And then when I looked up, all I could see was this big blob of blood. So they had to wait for the blood to subside, which took a while. That was quite scary because they had to cover up my good eye while they was working on my left eye. So I didn't like that. That was really, really, really scary. And it's like, because I have no depth perception, which is quite frustrating. It's a lot better since I've got B, but before now I'd be throwing myself off curbs, not realising where they are. And I try and get everything done quickly. I can't do that now because it takes a lot longer.
Does that get frustrating?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't have the patience of a saint. So what they decided to do was to save me a little bit of sight, because on a good day I can see people's faces. On a bad day I can only see half of people's faces. Is they decided to completely take off my retina and lay it flat. And touch wood. That was coming up for 2 years ago now. So I get to see a little bit. It's not brilliant, but it's better than being in the dark because I'm scared of the dark.
Are you going to show off now? Oh, you're going to show off. Don't now.
And what was the process of the decision you made to get a guide dog?
Well, a while ago, I was still driving, and my sister felt that I'd be better off giving up driving and having a guide dog. And I was like, no, don't need a guide dog. I'm fine. I'm driving, so we decided against it. And then my elder sister said, you can't really see what you're doing now. And I didn't go out for 7 months. I just stayed in my front room because I didn't want to go out. So she's like, come on, you really need to get you out and about. And I tried going out on my own, and I'd get stuck. I'd get halfway down the road, I'd feel with my feet. And then it would be like, right, this is no good. So I'd have to phone someone to come and get me. So, she decided that maybe it was time that I contacted. Actually, she contacted guide dogs, and a lady called Vicky came out and went through, obviously, about how would I feel about having a guide dog. And I was like, well, it'd be quite a nice idea because it would give me some independence. And she explained that I needed to do my long cane training first. And I had Rachel. And I felt once I'd done my long cane training that I didn't need a guide dog. But as it turns out, I would be lost without her, because when you do your long cane training, it makes your hands ache. And you can get caught in the rivets of the pavement and stuff. And a lot of people are quite rude. They'll kick your stick out the way, or they just take no notice of you. Whereas now that I have B, she moves people out the way, bless her heart. Yeah, she's very good. And she has truly given me back my independence. Yeah. But what amazes me, and it's still to this day, I mean, we've been together just over a year. And the first day we did our routes around Polegate, because I'm living in Polegate, and we went to the little coffee shop, and we went to the little shop, and the next day we went out, and straight away she knew where to go. And it was like, wow, that is amazing.
And how did you come to hear of ESAB?
Through Kim Bryant, who is a visual impairment lady under social services, and she referred me to go. I was only supposed to have like a 10-20 minute appointment with a gentleman called Steve, which turned out to be an hour and a half. And I truly do think he's such an amazing man. And my nan, bless her heart, went blind through her diabetes as well. and she didn't have any support, sort of, other than family. There wasn't really anything about. But yeah, no, Steve's amazing. ESAB's amazing, with all the information. And if there's something new, they let you know. If I have a problem, just phone up. And if they can't solve the problem for me, then they'll find someone who can. Yeah, I would be lost without ESAB. And if I'm out and about and people talking to me about their sight problems, I'm always like, have you contacted Steve at ESAB? Yeah, Steve is our main point of call. I mean, Daniel's lovely as well, and Rachel, the mobility officer. Everyone's lovely, but yeah, Steve's just, he gets it. I don't know, it's because he is blind, but he's just so clever. And he knows so much. Yeah, ESAB is, yeah.
Yeah. What's been looking back, what's been the most important thing that you've gained through ESAB?
Definitely independence, and feeling safe, and knowledge, really. And it sounds awful, but I used to feel like a complete and utter freak. I wouldn't take my stick anywhere. I just felt so uncomfortable. Before now, when I went to the opticians, I threw my stick. Said, I don't want to use it, I feel like a freak. And the lady said, no. You know, and it's so nice because of meeting other people through ESAB in similar conditions as well. And I know that I'm not a freak, and it's actually quite common. I was quite shocked how common it is, how many people have sight problems. And it's so nice because when you're with other people that have got sight loss, it sounds awful, but I feel normal. I don't feel any different. And I've made some really good friends as well through ESAB, so that's lovely. So my social life is suddenly, I have a social life, which is good.
Yeah. And how do you manage to maintain such a positive outlook despite having a sight condition?
I don't know, I think I've got used to it because when I was first registered blind, I was very much woe's me and woe's my. And going back to ESAB, when I went to see Steve, and it's like I said to him, aren't you fed up, aren't you angry? It's not fair. And he said, you can either go one of two ways. Don't do anything about it and sit and wallow, or accept it and get on with it. And it was just a case of, well, actually, do you know what? There are people worse off than me. I'm very fortunate I have a little bit of sight. I'm lucky I can get out and about. I'm not stuck indoors. Yeah, I think it's just better to try and be positive. Because if you're constantly miserable and low and horrible, it's like no one's going to want to spend any time with you. And it's not good for you. So yeah, it's just best to keep busy and laugh. You can't really do anything about it, really. Sometimes I do use inappropriate behaviour. But yeah, no, there's no point in worrying. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. So just make the best of it, really.